creatures. Okay, what did we just say? We just said that in the realm of shock, it's shocking in itself that with all this world knows about electricity and dynamics and modern things and medicines and history and time and nature and you and everything else, right, and all the space and everything else, that you can still in your emotional animal body feel like it's totally lying and it doesn't have any idea what it's fucking talking about. All those things can be true. And what happens is most people just go, oh, the world is right. I shouldn't feel that way. The world is right. Trust your doctor, trust your teacher, trust this, because they couldn't all be liars. And this cultivation of the pathology of masses of people in favor of the qualities of a parasitical mind, including excessive suspensions of disbelief that are just part of survival, and excessive denial, and the intoxication and the role-playing and the theatrical nature of different levels of hypnosis achieved through the role-playing, either professional and theatrically, but in times and places of considerable pressure to the point of war and domestic abuse, and the things invading the blood and the parasites that humans distribute to each other under various professional pretexts and other forms of social membership that is incited by conditions that are never solved by those groups, conditions which continue to supply a corrupting influence in so much as those groups themselves and the people they're constructed with are always going to have discharges of violence among them, right? And at a large scale, that's called war. Right? But it's happening every day while you're working for money. You're getting preyed on, preyed on, preyed on, preyed on. It's only that they've acculturated you and they've conditioned you through schooling and different forms of austerities and negative reinforcement and deprivation therapy to learn to go without what in many other ancient societies would have been a bare minimum of love and consideration for who you are as a human being. The rest is just talk. You know, oh yes, children are this and humans are this and we came from here and we came from this and this is what you need. Here's your hierarchy of needs. It's all bullshit. Bullshit everywhere, bullshit over here. And it's like the new age science fiction fantasy. There's just more bullshit, new levels of bullshit. Oh, this people of knowledge are going with more bullshit, more bullshit, more bullshit. Always supporting vaccines and war and stupidity and gender swapping. The theatrical world whose motto is perversion by example. That's God's motto. God is the financial industry, theater in all of its incarnations, because every group of people becomes a theater, in a sense, of the damned. Theater itself is a place to condition people to assenting to conditions in the name of entertainment that allow for perversions to be placed in front of them by them while they're in the throes of excitement and drama and pathos and like nothing's really happening to them. The classroom is theater, right? It's always perverse, right? Why don't we teach children outside and let them move around? Have both of their parents present. I've watched different cults where people will leave their children with a strange Indian man, where they want to get their children conditioned to following a stranger. He sits there on the grass and all the children are playing around him, but the parents are gone. They've left them with him, the spiritual guru who's flown in by helicopter once a year to play with children. And that seems to be like his main purpose for being there. And he doesn't even talk, writes on a chalkboard. And these are following him. These are white women. Right? These are called yoga retreats. There's the Salt Spring Island yoga retreat. That's the one example I'm using. And the women all perverts, all stalkers, all sexual predators, sociopaths. All innocently and honestly trying to pursue the way such as they think it's presented accurately. The sun is... I'm going to pack up soon and get going, I think. was still the echo of this ugly woman that came in here once. All the years I've been coming here, this wife of this fucking arson steps over all of my boundaries. There's just a completely filthy, weird, homeless-looking woman with her dog. It's amazing. You have all the alcoholics and meth addicts are past. Just the most mannerless, presumptuous, ugly little beast I ever fucking met in my life. On her best day, she's a menace to society. And she has an adopted daughter. I'm so sick. But that sickness, it chooses when to come out. When it thinks it can. It'll come out as soon as it can. That's when you feel with women. You spend time with them. And that sickness will start coming out as soon as it can. Because it wants to use you. It wants to get you into debt to them. But the secret is they can never get what they want from you. So they always have to keep trying. I know several women in the area, they're quite nice. But they keep a man in the house who's sick and can't go out. It's like the movie Misery. I know a man too, a young man whose wife is sick. Can't go out of the house. Why are all these people so sick? Why does anyone get cancer? There's one guy, Trevor, he was telling me how his whole family is sick. He gets seizures, his whole family is sick. I'm like, dude, holy fuck. You might want to look into that. It's like it's a part of their culture to be sick. And you'll find that in families with sexual abuse. I'm sure his family has sexual abuse. And there's just a litany of illnesses that everyone's always contracting. So you might say, what's the point of talking about family sexual abuse and sociopathy and the world around me? It's because you can make yourself healthier, man. Right? You got a natural scrubbing system in your blood. The reason you can get angry is because your blood is trying to clean itself. Right? All the range of emotions, anything, no matter how difficult it is, come into a forest, it's going to clean your blood. It's guaranteed. Right? If you need to use your doctor, that's fine, but you come out here, scrub your blood. Your blood, because the blood is everything. And your voice. Just make some sounds. Nature will hear you coming. Listen to the owls. To them. Anyone can do that. Okay? It doesn't take a special degree. You were born with all the degrees that you needed. 360 degrees. Right? 720 degrees. Your blood has got millions of senses. Fuck your sixth sense. You have millions of senses. Even if you're blind, you've got blood, you've got senses. Right? When you have no sense, people have no sense. It means their blood is got parasites in it. They lose their senses, right? We say they've lost their mind. And suddenly antagonistic. They can gaslight you. Predatory. All of a sudden, there's something not nice about their life that only you can. Right? It's no place to be around. Okay. we're leaving just as the sun is coming through. It's like, oh, there. I just can't be here anymore. Yeah, I think the sun is actually coming through here. Ice and yeah, so keep moving. Where are we going now? Well, we could go back this way, I suppose. Go back along the river. You know what? That's a good idea. Let's do that. Yeah, I used to have a seat here. When I first came to this area, I used to sit on a log right here for ages, and I had the stuff I put in here. It's probably gone now. I had string. Let's see. Oh yeah, I think it's in here. It's like this blue and green ribbon. Yep, it's still in there. A little bit of a thing of kettle chips, stones, what have you. Kind of like a sacred mound, right? Looks like a vagina. And closest thing I'll grab a vagina. Or want to. So good. That's all good. Yeah. Yeah, I think that human sex is not something that's really activated for most people. You know, there's a girl, Becky Martins, who has a sex cam, a very popular sex cam. And she basically gets people to buy tokens to watch her masturbate with a dildo. Eventually, at some point, you'll see her with her t-shirt on, just smiling. She has these little gestures that she learned, just little gestures, smile, nod her head, being coquettish and whatnot. And eventually, come back an hour later and she's sticking a dildo up her cunt until she comes, stays there in her chair, smiling like a Cheshire cat. She's just made money masturbating thousands of total strangers. And her tits are about the size of, she looks to be about 18 or so. And that's what she does. She's good at it, right? As far as it goes. But what does she really know about sex or intimacy? Nothing. Right? But, middle-aged, horny men like me like to think that these women are walking around. They're all so experienced. Right? What do you think her favorite books are? And there are girls who put themselves through school doing this. I met this creepy dude once. He said, "Oh yeah, my daughter and her friends, they have their sex camps." Oh, okay, cool. Right, lo and behold, they figure that people like looking at 18, 20-year-old girls naked, playing with themselves. Geniuses, eh? Fucking geniuses. Let's go this one's really cold. Wow. Well, I was sitting down for a while. Wow, that's winter. Oh, nice. This is kind of a quick one. My mom was right. My mom was right. But then she was right. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I wish I knew her when she was young and her pussy was tight. Not really, but I wish I knew her when she was young. Holy shit. There's another huge hole there. That was a weird feeling. It keeps going down. Okay. I can't cross her yet, but I wouldn't want to. We'll watch this come down over the weeks ahead, and then we'll be able to cross here. This would be, up to my chest probably. It doesn't look it, but you'd be up to, between your belly button and your chest. It's fucking cold. You would not make it across unless you had a wetsuit on. But it's doing pretty good. I look for 1 feet, 2 or 3 feet, I'm going to be crossing it. As long as we don't get too much precipitation. So I didn't know you can actually come out there. That's cool. Tracks, deer tracks here. Nice. I wonder if deers are like, oh, there's that man's tracks again. I don't think I've seen anyone all day. It's been like eaten fairly well. Ooh, really cold right now. But at least it's not a wet cold, it's more of a dry cold. Increasing my steps. Thinking there's a person there and it's like a native spirit. Let's go see what my circles look like here. I thought I'd come down this way and then I'll probably have home. It's probably, it's gotta be close to noon. There's a person. There it is. Yeah, looking good. That's chilly. It's not really a trail, I guess, by most people's standards, but it's definitely an okay way to go. My hands are cold. My body's warming up. Maybe it's a raven. Yeah. Sun is young. I never had these cold hands, and I came to this store one day, and this sexually, who'd taken a liking to me, was saying, "Oh, your hands look really cold." That was the last thing she ever said to me as a normal person. Once, yeah, oh, that's super perfect. Oh, sun. And the trail is cold. The limbs are strong, and I'm growing old. What do you do when your dick is limpish? What do you do when the girl is impish? To be impish is to be limpish, really, isn't it? Okay. And the people in a cult, and the people in the cult where she worked, including herself, were given total immunity from any of the imputations that would normally be attributed to all of the antisocial behavior which they were treating them. And the only person they held accountable was a single mother who had the least to do with it. Isn't that interesting how bullies look for their scapegoats? So in a cult, whether it be a place of work or worship, all kinds of people around you could be given complete immunity for doing things that, when attributed to the scapegoat, are considered worth hurting somebody for, or subjecting them to punitive damage. But if the opposite is true, they're completely exonerated. And anyone around them wouldn't believe what they were doing. It's unbelievable by nature. Let's see. So it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So most people in jail are scapegoats to women, predatory women. And cult environments where women are given a prerogative to begin the process of allowing the group to exhaust built up or negative charges in the course of doing business or worship or human relationships upon a male who is signified as the scapegoat. A woman in the group could be attracted to him. A woman in the group could have a negative feeling about him. A woman in the group could be charged with no more he hasn't remembered her name, or he doesn't seem to respect her, want to put his penis inside of her. And all of a sudden, people start to do bad things to him. She can't fuck him, she needs to murder him. Is that true? Right? And everything that is imputed, including all of this, to the scapegoat, means nothing to the people really doing it. That's a theater of war. There's a reason a war is a theater, because a cult is a theater of violence, and a war is a theater of violence. And theater helps us to become accustomed to the type of psychology which people will resort to in order to inflict pathological damage upon a totally innocent person. That's how all human groups function, because they have to work for God. It's the ultimate child predator. Destroys families, destroys men, destroys women, destroys children, destroys everything. Makes everything beautiful and turns it into ugliness that you learn to call pretty, beautiful, part of life. If you do well, really. Right? So we live as scapegoats. We live in a world surrounded by degenerates. But what we call degenerates are also hardworking people who don't want to be called degenerates. Maybe they don't want to be degenerates. And let's face it, everyone else is so degenerate, it's not really degenerate anymore. Right? If everyone fucking becomes a sodomite, sodomy isn't really such a big deal. So, that's right. You have trouble looking at that, right? But you look at an asshole every day. Well, yeah. I mean, you're more than welcome to leave my house if you don't like it. What do you like? Do you think this is your house or something? This is your house, it's my house. And as soon as I want to, I can kick every fucking one of you faggots out of my house. You understand? By my word alone. Understand? So you want me to tell you why I'm wearing this clothing? I work in the fashion industry. So you're a professional liar. I wouldn't go bragging. That's whatever I fucking do. It's none of your fucking business. Hey? And it's none of your fucking business. Hey? You're fucking business. Sociopathic predators always know who they can pick on. Right? People who aren't as sociopathic as everyone else. You're always more vulnerable if you're not a sociopath in society. There's no way you can change that. Sociopaths are people who try to never be vulnerable. Coded in denial, costumes, compliance. Costumes and compliance. They become fat. They become gluttons quite often. That's why so many they don't crap enough. They just distribute their shit into other people's bloodstreams. I'm not about people dumping carcinogens into the river so much as what people have dumped into my blood. We don't go far enough with all that we pollute as human beings. It's amazing watching this white sociopath come up to me one day and disturb me. And she's trying to say things that she thinks I'll agree with. And she natters on about this and the other. I'm just standing there and quietly the whole time. She's trying to figure out how to get me to respond to her by thinking about everything she knows about the